Wonky. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're working back on the 1934 custom Dodge street rod project, continuing on with our maintenance series. And in this video, I'm actually going to change the oil in the actual car. It hasn't been changed in quite some time, so I've got a little bit of an oil leak going on underneath the car right now. So I'm hoping once I drain the oil out, I can try to diagnose where that oil is actually coming from, and then once that's all situated, get the oil reinstalled, and we'll be perfectly good to go in the car. So Dave's gonna be popping over to help out with the oil change project. Even though it's a pretty simple task, I just wanna kind of document it for everyone out there, just kind of show you what the car looks like underneath a little bit, what's going on. In last week's video, we actually tackled the transmission issue, where the transmission was leaking everywhere. So we think the oil is leaking from the actual drain plug in the car right now. So I'm hopefully gonna fix or replace that drain plug to keep that from leaking. So we're gonna work on that right now, so let's get to it. So we're underneath the car right now, and the whole goal of this video is to actually change the oil. So the first thing we do is, we've got a lot of oil splatter just coming back here on the oil pan, and we think it's the actual drain plug that's leaking, and just as you're driving, the wind blows it back here all over the transmission pan, front of the transmission, everything. So we're gonna drain the oil, wipe everything down, and we're probably gonna replace this gasket for the actual drain plug. So right now, first thing, let's get the oil out of here. Coming up in the next video, we're actually going to adjust the lifters, as that hasn't been adjusted on here in forever.
Or ever.
Yeah, ever, since it was built. But this video is just to get the oil changed out. Pretty simple video. Drain plug, drain the oil, pull the filter off, new filter goes on, drain plug goes back on, lower the car down, fill the oil back up in the engine, and good to go. Pretty simple. All right, I'm gonna go find a washer for my drain plug, because I think that might be the problem, is why this is kind of wonky. It's like that. It's because it didn't have a washer on here, so it kind of sucked it in, causing that concave look of this piece here.
I'm gonna sit here and hold this.
You just stay there, Dave, and don't go
oil.
anywhere. Dave,
4
stay.
gallons of it.
So I found a washer to go on my drain plug, like so. This has this wonky shape to it, so I'm gonna put the concave side facing up, so it'll look like that, and this will get screwed back into the oil pan, and hopefully gives us a better seal. It's made in China, part 302 for that plastic piece. That explains a lot. So now that we've got the oil drained out of the pan, we have to take off the oil filter right here. This is a nice Wix filter, a 51, 51.5. And I'm sure 75 ooga this.
Holy sh!
Okay, Dave, just keep holding that bucket for a minute, or he's gonna get it, because he's got man hands.
No, I'm bending your filter.
New Wix filter right here, and this is what we're gonna replace that one with. It's definitely overdue for an oil change, so. Here we go. Incoming. Installing the new filter. Make sure you put a little oil on the gasket, and then you're supposed to, what, till you touch, and then
a quarter turn more.
Oh, that's more than a quarter turn. So the oil's been drained. We've cleaned up everything underneath the car here. We've replaced the filter. So now we're going to drop the car back down and refill the oil. All right, so right now we've got the oil all drained out. We've got the filter changed. We've got the drain plug reinstalled into the oil pan. We fixed the actual oil pan drain plug, so hopefully it doesn't leak anymore. We've wiped everything down underneath. There's no more oil splattered anywhere. So we're gonna drop the car down on the lift, refill the oil, and check it again. Now if we go down, sound.
Down, down.
Julie Brown.
Squish.
I use my little special tool to get the hood off. Just like a quarter turn, and they pop. And it's a good way to scrape the paint. Done that. So for the oil change, we're using Brad Penn 10W40 oil right here. stuff has all the nutrients that a big block would need, being that it's an older motor. So we're using this because it has high levels of zinc phosphorus. So on top of that oil we're using, I'm also using this Hyperlube ZWDP supplement, which is high in zinc, to add to the oil. So the engine should have plenty of oil to lube up all the drivetrain components, and well, not drivetrain components, but you know, to lube up all the valves and valve train stuff. So this is the stuff I'm using as an additive to the oil. So we're gonna start filling up the crankcase. This takes approximately 6 3/4 quarts for a complete oil change with the filter. So right now we're just reinstalling the oil, about 6 3/4 quarts plus that additive into the engine block. Once the oil's been added, we're gonna fire the car up and just check the oil levels with the dipstick, see if we're close, fine tune it, add what we need, and this project will be done. So right now we've got the oil drained out, the filter replaced, the drain plug back in. Dave's put new oil back into the engine, about 6 quarts. We're gonna fire the engine up right now just to make sure we check it, and we'll top it off as needed. So we're gonna fire the engine up right now. So we just fired the engine up for the first time. We're just checking the oil levels. We're probably gonna be a little bit low. We're about half, so we can go up a little bit more.
All right. So you need about 1/2 quart then?
Going back and forth, running it, adding a little bit of oil, check it, add a little bit of oil, run it, check it, add a little bit of oil, run it. I don't want to overfill it, so we're just taking baby steps, adding a little bit more oil at each time. So at this point, engine oil is completely done. Bing! All right, everyone, that's gonna wrap for this video. As you can see, Dave and I changed the oil in the 1934 Dodge maintenance project that we have going on right now. So we think you figured out where the oil was coming from underneath the oil pan, and it was actually from the drain plug. There was no washer on the actual drain plug sealing up the actual gasket that's supposed to seal everything up nicely. I threw a washer on there, flipped the gasket over, and I think we've got a really nice seal right now. I'm not seeing any more leaks. So coming up in next week's video, Dave and I are gonna tackle the roller rockers on this. So right now when it's running, it's hard to pick up on audio on the camera, but you hear this little clacking noise going on. There's about 1,700 miles on the car since the motor was built, and I've never adjusted the roller rockers on this thing. Coming up in next week's video, we're gonna take off the valve covers, readjust all the roller rockers using a feeler gauge, making sure we've got all the tension set correctly in every single intake and exhaust port rocker, and put it all back together with new valve cover gaskets. Hope nothing leaks, hope it sounds better. So as always, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, smash that big red subscribe button, smash that notification icon down below so you know when I do post future videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.